Oh yes, it has.
Oh.
It's happened several times, but the first time it happened wasn't quite as clandestine as what you've just described, where you travel and you see your image used abroad. It was one of my first commercial projects with an agency, and it was at that point it was my most significant advertising project. And I was asked to provide a quote. I didn't know how to quote. I asked a few people around me. They didn't know how to quote, so I just pulled a figure out of the air and I got the job to shoot an image for a print ad for a well-known product, and it was for a print ad. And the shoot got postponed several times, and then eventually the agency called and said, we need to do the shoot this evening because it needs to, the graphic artists need to work on it overnight and get it out next morning. So I said, okay, I have a studio, my studio's available, I have all the equipment, I'll organize. A huge team shows up, and we shot from about 9 p.m., shot one model from about 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Because I asked for, were there any sketches, anything, any concept. Well, it's...
Sorry. Sorry. Go on.
Well, you're having flashbacks again.
It's a vibe, it's a this, it's a that, but no, nothing visual. So, at that point, that was my first experience with what I now realize is you just keep shooting. We know what we don't want, and when we see what we want, we'll let you know.
Nodding in agreement here. Bouncing my head up and down, nodding like a headbanger's ball.
That's rather arbitrary.
So
that's advertising.
I shot it, and okay, well, I'll upload the images. I'll upload the proofs, and you let me know which one you want, and I'll send that raw file to you if you need a raw or a high-res JPEG. They said, well, no, this is really tight deadline. We need one of your memory cards. So I gave them my memory cards with, 1,500 raws on them, and they said thanks. And I got paid, and I didn't see the press ad. And then about 10 days later, I started seeing billboards with one of the images all around. So I was a little confusing because I was new, but I wasn't completely stupid. And I called the agency and said, well, the billboards look great, but this is supposed to be a print ad. They said, well, yeah, but the billboard is printed.
Oh my word! I'm still trying to. Wait a minute. That's a what? Okay, I'm still trying to wrap that around my head. That is just.
Now, I am not shocked or surprised in the least. But okay, go on. So what happened next?
So
what did you do?
I said, well, yeah, but. I said, as respectfully as I can, you're an agency, I'm a new photographer, and I know this, and I know that you know what I'm talking about, that's not what print refers to. They said, yeah, but, we've already done up everything with the client, and and we have so much more work to come, so, let this one slide.
Yes.
And had I done some of the workshops that I did a couple of years later, on marketing and negotiating for photographers, I would have known at that point that when you bend over once, a line forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, fine, and I got a couple other jobs for the agency. One of the other jobs was, could you shoot these products for us? It's a granulated product in a glass jar. Okay, how do you want it to look? Just basic lighting. So, okay, well, what do you mean? Yeah, just nothing special. So I shot them overnight. I got them back to the agency. They went, yeah, we don't like these.
I hope I gave you good. I know I gave you good instructions when we shot the good.
Yes.
As long as we're clear about that, because I don't want to be hypocritical here and
No,
laugh
not
at
at
this.
all.
And right, good, because
So
yeah.
Fast forward a year later to the season that the original print ad that's now a billboard was shot for. And I see a new billboard go up, and I thought, at first I'm driving past and thinking, okay, they just reused the image. I'll just send them an invoice because it was licensed for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And something told me, take a picture of it and take it home. And I realized that it was another frame from the same shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, okay, now I don't need to just license for reuse of the same image. I need to license for use of a new image.
Mm. So
I sent an invoice. I was met with shock, awe, and disgust at my audacity.
SAG. SAG. You met with SAG. SAD.
And